But this one is going to be your finest hour.
We're in the Endgame now.
Thanos wiped out 50% of all living creatures.
No! This is the fight of our lives.
This is gonna work, Steve.
I know it is. Because I don't know what I'm gonna do if it doesn't.
It's finally Endgame week. Avengers Endgame comes out in theaters this week. I am not going to spoil it for you. I'm here to give my quick and dirty review of the film. And I'm not going to go into deep particulars. I'm really going to go over, I guess, the basics. The thing that strikes me, first of all, about Endgame is that, for once, we're finally getting some closure. This is a film that brings a lot of chapters, a lot of the story to an end. There are goodbyes. There are some deaths. But we actually get some closure in the sense of plot lines and elements of the stories that we've never seen actually, have a proper ending. And that's really fulfilling. The Marvel Cinematic Universe has done some great things, but closure and endings haven't been a huge part of that, if you ask me. That's just my opinion. And what I love is actually seeing some points where we're saying goodbye to things, we're closing off some things, and not just in a passing way. There really are some goodbyes here. And there's even the passing of a mantle. And that's, what a lot of fans are expecting. But the one thing that I think is maybe unexpected is the fact that there are some deaths, but not as many as maybe some people expected. If you had a Deadpool going and you had a pretty long list, you're probably going to be wrong. And that's a good thing in some ways, but I would say that that's the downside of this end, is that we're getting maybe a little less impact. I feel like in the size of the battle that you're going to see in this film, I would expect to see maybe some more casualties. And I think that's one thing that they should have gone maybe a little deeper. And if I had any complaint, that's really the gist of it. It has characters who may never see each other again saying goodbye. And that's pretty cool. But overall, the greatest impact of this film is that the story feels right. It feels like you're going through the natural end to this giant battle, and also this first phase of the Avengers. And all the characters have their moments. Some have more moments than others. I'll say what little about the opening that I can, because past that, there's nothing I'm going to really get into with much, detail. Tony Stark and Nebula are trapped in space. We kind of get a backtracking of what's happening on Earth to get a sense of what happened after the snap. And it's not really that fleeting. It actually delves kind of deeply into, what's been going on. And, it's a pretty somber, serious opening. There are light moments, and the film certainly balances somber with, the Marvel jokes you'd expect. But there's a lot more seriousness starting out than you might expect. But given the severity of the snap, that's kind of to be expected. Black Widow, Captain America, Bruce Banner, and Thor are the main characters at the opening. There are some others who come in and out and play important roles, but I'm really not going to go there because it's a surprise. That's kind of the great thing, is you're not going to sit down and go, oh, I know exactly where they're going to go, because I've talked to a lot of other critics who saw this, and none of us really expected where it was going. There are certainly some things that pop out that you totally would have expected. The rest of it, not so much. It really is a surprise, and that's very well done on the part of the Russo brothers, the directors, and the writers, who kind of plot this in a unique way that's unexpected.
I like this one.
There are ass jokes. There's at least 2 cathartic hugs. One character doing both hugging. Huggings? Anyway. And that's what I love, is that this maybe feels like the first Marvel film that gets pretty deep into both some grief in ways, and also some real heart. So in the end, are fans going to be excited about this film? Yes, absolutely. Is it going to fulfill them? Is it going to bring things to a close the way they might expect? It certainly brings things to a close, and it sets things up for whatever might come next. And it's it's satisfying. And that's all I really wanted of it. And it's good filmmaking. The visuals are astounding. Some of the effects are amazing. It really checks a lot of check boxes in terms of what you might want to see in this Endgame. And the only thing I'd say, as one more spoiler, if you will, there's no post-credit scene. There's something at the end of the credits, which I am still trying to analyze and figure out what it means. But it's not really the end credit scenes we've come to expect. So I don't know if that might be the end of end credit scenes. Is that what this is? Or is it just the fact that there's nothing to tease right now? It'll be interesting to see if Marvel returns to post-credit scenes in their next phase, or if this was the end of them. But there is a moment at the end of this film. Just don't stay through the credits and expect a lot. There's not a lot. There's just one little thing. So enjoy the film. I hope you enjoy it. I'd love to hear in the comments what you thought of the film after you saw it. And don't spoil it. Don't spoil it for anyone. Keep the secrets. Maybe in a month or something we can all talk about it.